Joe Biden is known around the world as the 46th President of the United States, but before he was a politician, a senator, or a commander-in-chief, he was simply Dad. Family has always been the cornerstone of his life. He raised 4 children, Beau, Hunter, Naomi, and Ashley, through both triumph and unimaginable tragedy. Biden's love for his children has shaped the person and leader he's become, and their stories offer a powerful lens into who he is when the cameras are off. Beau Biden, Joe's eldest son, was born on February 3, 1969. He was named Joseph Robinette Biden III, after his father and grandfather. Beau's life was marked by resilience from the beginning. When he was just 3 years old, he was involved in the 1972 car accident that tragically killed his mother, Nelia, and baby sister, Naomi. Beau survived the crash with serious injuries, and his father famously took the Senate oath of office at Beau's hospital bedside, refusing to leave his side during recovery. As he grew older, Beau followed in his father's footsteps, pursuing law and public service. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania and then earned a law degree from Syracuse University, just like Joe. After law school, he worked as a federal prosecutor and later joined the Delaware Army National Guard, eventually serving in Iraq and earning the rank of major. Beau's commitment to justice and country led him to run for Attorney General of Delaware in 2006, a race he won and then won again in 2010. Beau was beloved for his integrity, calm presence, and devotion to family. Tragically, in 2013, he was diagnosed with glioblastoma, an aggressive brain cancer. After a fierce 2-year battle, Beau passed away in May 2015 at the age of 46. His death deeply affected Joe, who honored his son's life and memory in the best-selling memoir, Promise Me, Dad, named after Beau's request that his father stay strong and keep moving forward. Beau left behind his wife, Hallie, and their 2 children, Natalie and Robert. Hunter Biden. Born just over a year after Beau, Robert Hunter Biden entered the world on February 4, 1970. Like Beau, he was in the car during the 1972 crash and survived with injuries. As a child, Hunter was deeply close to his brother and carried the emotional scars of losing their mother and sister. Hunter graduated from Georgetown University and then Yale Law School. In 1993, he married Kathleen Boole, and together they had 3 daughters, Naomi, Finnegan, and Maisie. His career took him through various sectors, from law to business to government consulting, but he's also faced serious personal challenges. His struggles with substance abuse have played out publicly and painfully, especially during his father's time as vice president and later president. Hunter's involvement with Ukrainian energy company Burisma and his controversial art career have drawn public scrutiny and political attacks. In 2023 and 2024, he faced legal troubles, including federal charges related to taxes and firearms. He was convicted in 2024, but later received a presidential pardon from his father in December of that year. Joe stood by his son, stating that he believed politics had tainted the justice process and affirming his unconditional support for Hunter. Despite his troubles, Hunter remains close with his father. In a heartfelt post, he once wrote, "There is no distance between Joe Biden the man and Joe Biden the public servant." Hunter is currently married to filmmaker Melissa Cohen, and together they share a son named Beau, named in honor of his late brother. Naomi Christina Biden, Joe and Nelia's only daughter, was born on November 8, 1971. Just over a year later, her life was tragically cut short in the car accident that claimed her and her mother's lives. Though Naomi only lived for a brief time, her memory has stayed vividly alive within the Biden family. Joe has often spoken publicly about the pain of losing a child, calling it a soul-crushing experience that never fully heals. In speeches and interviews, he's referenced Naomi's death as a defining moment that reshaped his worldview and deepened his empathy for others going through loss. Joe's granddaughter Naomi, Hunter's oldest daughter, carries her late aunt's name, a living tribute to the child who changed their family forever. Ashley Blazer Biden. Joe's youngest and only child with his second wife, Jill Biden, was born on June 8, 1981. While her older siblings experienced personal tragedy at a young age, Ashley was raised in a more stable, albeit high-profile environment. From a young age, she showed a deep interest in helping others, a trait that seemed to run in the Biden bloodline. Growing up in Delaware, she often accompanied her parents to community events and volunteer programs where she learned firsthand the value of service. Ashley's academic journey reflected her curiosity about people and society. After earning a degree in cultural anthropology from Tulane University, she pursued a master's degree in social work at the University of Pennsylvania. During her graduate studies, Ashley focused on trauma and at-risk youth, topics that would later define her professional mission. Her work with the Delaware Department of Services for Children, Youth, and their families spanned 15 years, where she advocated tirelessly for vulnerable populations. Colleagues often described her as someone who led with heart, always putting the needs of others above personal recognition. She wasn't just a figurehead, she was deeply involved in policy development, casework, and crisis response. From 2014 to 2019, Ashley served as the executive director of the Delaware Center for Justice, where she advanced reforms in the criminal justice system, emphasizing restorative justice and alternatives to incarceration. Her approach combined data-driven strategies with a human touch. She helped pilot programs for juvenile offenders that focused on education and rehabilitation rather than punishment, believing firmly that early intervention could change lives. But Ashley didn't limit herself to traditional public service. In 2017, she founded Livelihood, a socially conscious fashion brand built on the principles of justice and empowerment. Livelihood's hoodies weren't just trendy, they were vehicles for change. Each sale helped fund programs in underserved communities, including job training, mental health services, and youth mentoring initiatives. Ashley partnered with community organizations to ensure the resources went directly to those in need, fostering a cycle of local empowerment. Creativity has always been part of Ashley's identity. Friends say she's as comfortable sketching clothing designs as she is writing policy briefs. She's also passionate about mental health awareness, having spoken openly about the importance of emotional well-being, therapy, and removing the stigma around seeking help. Her candid, grounded approach to advocacy has earned her admiration far beyond political circles. In her personal life, Ashley found stability and joy in her marriage to Dr. Howard Krein, a head and neck surgeon and health policy expert. Their 2012 wedding was a touching interfaith ceremony that brought together Catholic and Jewish traditions, symbolizing unity and mutual respect, values at the core of both their lives. Though Ashley generally avoids the political spotlight, she made heartfelt appearances during Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign, delivering remarks that resonated with many Americans. In 2024, her speech at the Democratic National Convention stood out for its sincerity and emotional weight. "My father is the original girl dad," she said with a smile. "He taught me to be brave, to stand up for what's right, and to never forget the importance of kindness. He will always be my best friend." Today, Ashley continues her advocacy behind the scenes, staying focused on building stronger, healthier communities. Whether through nonprofit leadership, community-based design, or mental health initiatives, she remains committed to improving the lives of others, just like the family she comes from. With compassion as her compass and justice as her guide, Ashley Biden quietly shapes a legacy that reflects the very best of what public service can be. The lives of Beau, Hunter, Naomi, and Ashley Biden are deeply entwined with their father's story, a story of perseverance, pain, and profound love. Joe Biden is not just a political figure, but a father who has faced the deepest personal losses and celebrated the proudest moments alongside his children. If you were moved by this story of the Biden family, make sure to like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe for more emotional and inspiring looks into the lives of public figures.